This past week we watched The Corporation in class, which is a documentary that discusses the rise of corporations, the fact that a corporation has been deemed a legal person, how corporations are projecting themselves, and what that all means for us as citizens of this large world. Like I said, the corporation was considered to be a legal citizen in the mid-1800s, and this essentially aided in the cease of any employee of said corporation to be held accountable. Instead, the corporation was essentially the person who could be persecuted, but of course this isn't exactly fair to have the people who run the companies be off the hook. So many people are still today fighting against this change to the 14th Amendment. These corporations have zero remorse for the concept of externalities, which is basically when two corporations form some sort of transaction which has consequences that unintentionally have an impact on a third party. These externalities are responsible for numerous deaths, illnesses, pollution, exploitation, poverty, and lies. Throughout one segment of the movie, they went through a checklist of characteristics which were known to be core to a psychopathic personality. This included callous disregard for the feelings of others, incapacity to maintain enduring relationships, reckless disregard for the safety of others, deceitfulness, incapacity to experience guilt, and many more. Unfortunately, we've seen through history that a corporation can easily hold all of these characteristics. Many people question whether the institution or the individuals in charge of said institution should be held responsible for their actions. But I believe, and it's been evident that I'm not alone in this, that it's individuals who should be held responsible. They are the ones making the decisions, yet because there's the concept of a corporation being a person, they are not being put under fire as readily as the name of the actual company. Also discussed in this movie is the fact that corporations will do anything to stop someone from tarnishing their name. In the film we learned about two reporters from Fox News who were investigative journalists, and they were looking to do a piece on Monsanto. Now, Monsanto is a chemical company. They had synthetic hormones that could be injected into cows, which would then boost the cow's milk production and metabolism. Unfortunately, this synthetic hormone led to infections in the cow's udders, and that meant that they needed an antibiotic to cure these cows, and that antibiotic went into the milk and into the bodies of anyone who consumed said milk. It was found that if it was consumed by humans, it would drastically lower their immune system and reduce their resistance to disease. These investigative journalists were told by Monsanto to rewrite the story, and when they refused to change it to how Monsanto and Fox wanted it to be, they were fired. There was then a long legal battle, and it gained a lot of press, which kind of led to the story getting out there anyways, but also these two journalists were just put through the ringer. There's such a high premium these days on what we as humans view as ethical. We may have a freedom to say what we feel, but many corporations will do what they can in order to stop anyone from coming up against them, because they are now a person and are equal to us in the eyes of the law. Thanks for watching my second video, guys. I have another one next week on what we talk in class, so if you want to discuss what your views were on the corporation, feel free to in the comments, and don't be afraid to start a discussion. So, bye guys!